men, and again, I got to be careful because I can't name names, but one of the men I have the most respect for in leading economic recovery for Baltimore also happens to be a lawyer. And we've talked extensively about the criminal justice system over the last 5 or 6 years. And this man said to me, and I know this is absolutely so, and he said, any defense attorney who pleads or resolves a client's case in Baltimore City courts short of 4 or 5 postponements ought to be disbarred. Think about that. Now, you're a robbery victim. You're a robbery victim, and you have to come down there to that mangy building with 0 parking and bad public transportation access and a horrible room to sit in, right? 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And each one of those terms is separated by about 30 days. Do the math on it. Now you have a case that's stretching almost a year in length if they game the system the right way. Do you know what happens? Do you know what happens? They just get tired of it. You're like, oh, the hell with it. I've bought a new cell phone. I canceled all my credit cards. The crack in the back of my head's healed up. I'm done with it. It's not worth the hassle. And then their client goes whistling out the door to do it again and again and again. What I would propose and what I'm hoping to get from the new state's attorney is a prioritization of those kinds of cases so that we're fast-tracking them through the system so that you don't have to come over and over and over again, that these guys are held accountable very quickly and early on, and they don't get a chance to do it again. On my end, I'm holding my detectives accountable at a higher level to do better cases. So we have more solid prosecutions. So when they get to court, we have the ballistics returned on the gun. There's no delay on our part. That the cops are there, the witnesses are there, the photo IDs are there, all the evidence needed to secure conviction are all tied up in a bow, so the first time we walk in the door, we're ready for trial. And hopefully the judges will stop allowing these shenanigans that have corrupted our system of justice in Baltimore and ultimately, I think, contributed to this cycle. Who else? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's interesting. In fact, there was an article in the paper today, I think, on that. At least they threatened me with an article in the paper about that. Hold on one second. So the article goes, there's a young man who is on the film crew for the Cafe Hun Chef Ramsay thing. I'm a big Chef Ramsay fan. I love it. Hell's Kitchen, I think it's the greatest show on TV ever. I'm sorry? Family Guy, certainly. I think Family Guy is awesome too. So big Family Guy. At any rate, sorry, you didn't come to hear about Family Guy. And I didn't repeat your question. The question was, could I talk a little bit about relationship building? I've talked a lot about relationship building and how does that square with people's fears and apprehension and the realities of racial profiling and policing, and in particular Baltimore. So let me start by this story about the Cafe Hun guy. So young African-American man, very successful, gone through a lot of schooling, grew up in Baltimore, done a lot of work. He's got a job working on this film crew, production crew. And if I'm screwing up the story, somebody jump in and tell me. But I think I got it mostly right. And he's driving around in a van with some other guys from the film crew, and they're surveying sites. I don't know why, but they're surveying sites. And they're actually right out here in Ridgely Delight. They're driving around Ridgely Delight at about 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Right? Am I right? Did you read the story? Is that right? So I got it right. That's the fact set. They get pulled over by a uniformed police officer, and the kid tweets on his cell phone that he believes he's being stopped unfairly, something to that extent. And this is a routine thing for African American kids in Baltimore, something to that effect. And essentially the story is he believes he's being profiled for being black in Ridgely Delight. And I thought about that, and I thought, you know, maybe, obviously he has a legitimate personal concern, a legitimate, entirely legitimate personal perspective about the stop. Ultimately, he was issued some sort of citation or repair order for a broken tail light on the van, right? A broken tail light on the van. First of all, the Supreme Court has upheld that you could use safety repair orders as a legal constitutional right to effect a stop to further investigate or advance an investigation. Anybody live in Ridgely Delight? Anybody live in Ridgely Delight and know what's going on in Ridgely Delight right now? Number one thing occurring in Ridgely Delight right now, you want to guess? Burglary. House burglaries. Do the time probabilities say most of the burglaries are happening during the day? Why are they happening during the day? Because all of you are up here going to class. You're in class. And so no one's home at the thing. It's a working class, young, professional community. No one there during the day. Perfect time to do burglaries. Here's some guys driving around, apparently lost. They look to the cop like they don't know where they're going. They're driving a van, and taillight's broken out. I didn't pinch the cop. You know why I didn't pinch the cop? He doesn't have kryptonite. He doesn't have x-ray vision. He couldn't see into the van. He's only got one way to do his job. Pull the car over and ask the guy, you all right? Now, I would hope that his approach could have been better. His approach could have been, you all right? Do you know where you're going? Can I help you? Can I help you get